Hey, I'm Morgoth. Welcome to my Dungeon of Horror. Today we have something special and new for you guys. It's a series called Forties Deep, starring our friends Elias and RudeBoy Todd. Now, it's a little all over the place, but without further ado, enjoy this intoxicated review.
Yo, I'm Elias Freeze.
This is RudeBoy Todd.
And we're gonna be talking about Color from Outer Space.
Color from Outer Space.
Yeah.
The color out of space.
Color Outer Space.
Color Outer Space. God damn it. Alright, this is a Nicolas Cage movie.
Nicolas Cage acting all the way the fuck up as like a grown-ass man dad going through a middle-age crisis.
Where it's like some cosmic horror, H.P. Lovecraft type shit.
And it's some H.P. Lovecraft shit.
Yeah, it's H.P. Lovecraft. It's got
cosmic horror.
Booty Man Adventures Escape from Booty Man Part 2. Alright, so they're like, you go into this shit, bro, and it's just like this girl standing around a circle of rocks with her hands out and shit, doing some weird ass
nature shit.
Yeah, nature shit, like doing like some type of like ritual, and like, you know what I'm saying, like talking about some let's get out of here or some bullshit like that. Some dude had walk up, you know what I'm saying, he looked like a straight frat boy and shit. Ugly as hell, hairline probably about to recede in a couple years, but it's, you know what I'm saying, walk up with the shit, start talking about, oh, blah, 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 you talking about witchcraft and shit. She's like, oh, wouldn't you like to know? Shit cuts to, I don't know what it cuts to. And then it goes like to the part, Nicolas Cage, class, sitting on the goddamn shit or whatever, and then like the Teresa comes into frame, like the mother or whatever, starts like bitching about her being out, like, oh, where the fuck were you? You had her worried. And then she was just like, oh, bye, you should have told us. And then she would just like random ass rebuttal, like, well, that's why your son's smoking weed. You're just like, bitch,
like, what the fuck is going on right now?
With anything, bro? I don't really know what Benny was doing. What Benny his name?
I think it's really just like, it was just showing like what some rural ass family out in like Northern America going through, I guess. They're having a family dinner and shit.
Nick Cage, Nathan, stupid ass, dumb ass, thought that you could eat alpacas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
what the
why
fuck was he
he
on,
spent
dude?
like 30 bands on alpacas talking about, oh, the fucking meat of the future.
He didn't understand what the fuck alpacas are really used for, you know?
Yeah, nah.
And his daughter G-checked him on it. Like, his daughter G-checked him on it, bro. He fucking
She said, bro, you ain't know
her
nothing about Packers, son. Get the fuck out of here, boy. What are you talking about? And then he was just like, well, actually, did you know that they're the meat of the future? She's like, oh, stupid ass, bro. I could be walking around this bitch in a mink right now, you know what I'm saying? Be like, you know, Pusha T said my niece was poor when she felt chinchilla. My niece was poor when she felt alpaca, son. You already know. And then, so, like, they start, the coochie scene, bro. Like,
the coochie scene.
Nick Cage start being on some shit where he's like, oh, I love you, you're still beautiful. She said, like, you'll always be my golden girl or whatever. And then he was just like, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, stop it, you know I'm ugly. Stop saying that shit.
She was upset because she had cancer and she had to have her breast.
It was cancer?
It was cancer?
She ain't had no titties the whole time?
Yeah.
She was self-conscious about the fact that she wasn't
Alright,
like
well,
her
she
former
ain't had
self.
no titties the whole movie. And you know what I'm saying? So she's like, oh, you'll always have titties in my mind. Cuts to the scene after, like, you know, everyone was going to sleep. Jack was in his fucking bed looking weird as hell. Those eyes all fucking
You looking at a fucking pterodactyl hanging off the ceiling
bro.
and shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It, like, kind of, like, had the vibe that some shit was finna go off. And then, wow, like,
Remind me of the Signs. You remember the Signs? Like that weird film with the kids and shit? Yeah, it was like some shit out of the Signs.
And then the coochie session started, bro, where Nick Cage was like all in the bed, you know, trying to get. She said that she ain't threw him no pussy in 6 months, bro. Crazy as shit. But like now, you know what I'm saying? So like pretty much they flashing ass light comes out the shit, bro. Looks all fucking, you know, that's like some like magenta ass cut, but like it's supposed to be on some shit that you ain't never seen before. Like that's some outer space type bullshit, you know what I mean? So like fucking. Oh yeah, and the dog came up and it had like the snarling shit.
Yeah, he was snarling and shit. He started getting a weird feeling about the shit, so he was like trying to go to his parents' room, but they were getting the coochie, right?
Yeah.
So he came out to the hallway and he saw the dog, and the dog started snarling at him and shit, and he started being like, shit got weird, and we don't really know like exactly what happened during that scene because shit cut.
Oh yeah, and then like after they
he
cut,
saw some
like,
shit.
Yeah, there was like the meteor out and shit, and they had the mayor come down for some fucking reason.
You started seeing like flowers growing out of the ground that were like purple.
That was
like,
way back. That was way back when they saw that we were like purple purple.
Just
thing.
over time, you
Purple
started
gecko
seeing
and
shit.
Yeah.
You started seeing shit transition.
And they were just like, oh, blah blah blah, like it's like a meteorite, and he was like, a meteorite, like he'd never heard of a fucking meteorite before, and like the sun studying to be in NASA or some shit, so he like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
he should already know what a fucking meteorite
it was
should be.
the older son that was smoking weed.
Yeah, man.
I think they referenced that
smoker.
he was into like NASA shit.
Yeah, and then they meet and they talk about Tommy Chong's character, wasn't it, Ezra?
Ezra, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's just like talking about some weird shit.
He said the birds communicated with me, and something's not right.
He was
did
talking
say
to
that.
birds and shit.
He was talking to nature, and nature was like, "Yo, something's not right."
And then like Ward's like walking around like the forest and shit, and then he like has his like flashlight out or whatever, and he's like looking through, and then like some weird like aura like passes by on like some like fast cut scene or whatever, and then it like
It was
still
like a shadow person almost. It was
kind of
weird,
like
and then
a
it
shadow
turned into
person.
like a whole ass aura.
Yeah, and then
was
like he
weird.
like looked back at it, and then he like got freaked out by it and like backed up a little bit, and then the car turned on, bro.
And the
then,
car
like,
it started revving and shit.
That shit was like somebody was in the shit, bro. Dale Earnhardt possessed that bitch and was just like, turn me.
And then he fucking flashed his light in that bitch.
He was just
Nobody
like,
was
no one
in
was
there,
in that hole,
bro.
bro. He
Nobody was in that bitch.
Straight tweaking, bro.
And then what happened is they were just having like a moment, like a family moment, like any ordinary ass family and shit. And they were chilling in the living room while the mom was like cooking dinner and shit. They were all like getting interviewed by the like, you know, the media and shit.
Oh yeah, Nick Cage was getting all pissed off because his hair was all fucked up.
Yeah, his hair was
What
all
his name?
fucked up
Nathan,
and shit.
Nathan, yeah. I would call that shit UFO or whatever.
Yeah, she thought it was like some weird shit. She just didn't really like, she obviously didn't have a grasp on it because she had like some political view on it and shit.
They were just going on about that interview shit or whatever. He was just like all pissed about it. And he was like saying some weird shit. I forgot what quote he said, but he like said some old dumbass shit.
It was obviously like coming from like a dad standpoint, like that man didn't know what the fuck was really
first of all,
going
Nick
on
Cage
at all.
always just played that clueless dad perfectly, bro. Shitty ass dad.
Even when he's not playing that dad, he
Yeah.
plays that coolest dad,
He
bro.
was
Like,
fucking around here, it's like, bro, what actually
you know,
passed
I
was
don't
the
know what the fuck
Declaration
going on,
of
bro. Like,
Independence. It was there the entire time.
it was having like some tense ass fucking like camera.
Yeah, that
like,
camera work was like
work.
crazy though.
It
was,
made
like,
me
really
anxious
in
as
that shit.
fuck.
It really did, bro. I was just like, bro, but I instantly, you know, I called that shit. I knew she was finna cut her finger off.
Yeah, you
with
did
that
call
shit,
that shit.
Chopped her whole finger off.
Yeah,
bro.
she chopped her fucking finger off, cutting the
Both
fucking
fingers.
carrots.
She was
Both
both
fingers.
two of 'em.
These two motherfuckers right here,
right
bro.
here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so she like washing the
started
dishes
tweaking.
and shit, bro. Cause like,
Shining levels type of tweaking.
yeah, because bitch like cut her fingers off, so like the knife was still there and shit. The carrots was still there.
She
too.
was traumatized
Then,
from
yeah,
it.
it started off like the blood was on her feet, and then you look up the whole sink like covered in that bitch. Old boy tried to go get coochie from their daughter or whatever. What was her name? Leviathan.
Yeah, Lavinia.
Lavinia.
Yeah,
Lavinia.
Lavinia.
Yeah, and then
he was like, yeah, you know, I'm a hydrocologist, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He's like, blah,
yeah,
blah,
we
blah,
go
you know.
examine this shit,
I
you
know
know,
you
on
don't fuck
elements
with
and
any
shit,
of
you know
this
what I'm saying?
nerd shit.
Yeah. So like that's what he did, and they were trying to examine this shit like it was some scientific shit. Little they know though, this is about to turn into some crazy shit.
Yeah. Fucking War was just like, okay. So he walks away. Jack's over there standing by the well or whatever. And then he was just like laughing and talking and shit. And then the kid would like, War looked all like
It
freaked
was on some
out.
demon possession
Yeah,
type
for
shit.
real, bro. Look like goddamn Omen type shit. And then like fucking like he looked at him. He was just like, who you talking to? He's like, I'm talking to my friends. He was like out here like Millie rocking with Booty Mane and shit. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, that's my boy. Hey, he was like laughing at him and shit.
Yeah.
They went to Ezra crib. Yeah, they went back to Ezra crib, and like they like, you know what I'm saying, I was like, hey yo Ezra, what's good, blah blah blah, knocking on the door. Bro, weird as hell, have face paint on, and just acting all crazy.
He had like fucking like Native American paint on and shit, like war paint shit
yeah,
on.
for real.
Like, it was
all
crazy
fucking
looking.
weird and shit. Talking about like it's the fucking aliens, man. They're like fucking underneath us. You can't hear them, dude. They're here, bro. Like it's in the fucking. You've been testing the water, man. They're in here, man. Yeah, and then yeah, so like apparently, you know, G-Spot was missing, old kitty ass shit or whatever. Goddamn, so like Nick and well, Nathan and Teresa going back to the crib and shit. and they're like talking, oh, blah blah blah. We haven't been able to talk to them. I hope our like kids are okay and shit. Blah say blah, and then like G-spot comes up in the frame, bro. It's just like, you know, like a jump scare type shit.
Yeah, that shit was.
And then
crazy.
it was like some like crazy alien looking version. It's like her like aura was still like fucking like magenta and shit, you know. What
I'm not gonna lie, like it wasn't like a traditional jump scare either. Like
Nah,
it wasn't. It was
kind of
actually
like
a pretty decent jump
rolling
scare.
shot, kind of. It was just like
It came in with like the silhouette of her like on the cat stance with like the arched back.
Yeah,
and then you saw her fucking face all fucked up and shit, and then it came into their
and
shot.
they're like,
it was cool.
Dude,
it was cool.
Fuck,
I'd actually say for once that was one of the jump scares that I could say like in a modern movie
yeah,
that
your
like
ass jumped
actually
hard
pulled
as
off.
hell, dude.
It was
You
good.
Was just, like,
that was a good jump scare. Like, I don't fuck with jump scares like that. I think they're really corny, and I think they're really badly implemented in a lot of horror movies nowadays.
Yeah,
but that jump scare was
scares.
fucking good. That jump scare was good, and I can give them a thumbs up
baby.
to it.
It was, yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. And then they pretty much got back to the fucking crib and shit after all that shit happened. They were just like, yo, why the fuck haven't you talked to us? We haven't heard from you in goddamn 28 goddamn whatever how many hours and shit. And they were just like, well, every time I tried to talk to you, I couldn't fucking hear you. And yeah, when they were gone,
and
bro.
he was confused, and they were like, why?
He was like,
the
you're supposed to put the alpacas up.
Yeah, the daughter was like, stop smoking so much fucking weed.
Yeah, you're like,
and
you
he
high
was
as
like,
fuck.
bro,
You
I'm
ain't put
not
the alpacas.
fucking
He's like,
high.
bro, I literally put the alpacas back. It's like they were living on like different frames of time type shit.
It was
or,
fucking
like, you know
nuts.
What I'm saying? Yeah, and the alpacas were still out. Right
Yeah.
when he got back, and she was like, oh, I told you to put the fucking alpacas back and shit. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, time would just, like, warp differently and shit. So, like, shit was just, like, odd or whatever.
The next day is when everything started picking the fuck up. Like, so Nicolas Cage was in the shower, and he had, like, some weird jellyfish, like,
Looking ass
like, weird clear thing come through the drain.
Yeah, he started noticing he had a rash, too, on his arm and shit.
I think, yeah. Even before the shit popped up, he was like getting a weird feeling from the water. Like the water was fucking with him a little bit.
After he had got out the shower, he was like freaking out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like acting like his dad, like being like super bipolar and just like acting like on like some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? Being like super abusive, like, you know, just like shit talking like his kids and shit like that.
Yeah, it was just weird shit.
Yeah, and then it like cut up to old girl in her room, right?
She started fucking like being on some like fucking Tumblr Hawthorne Heights
yeah,
type
she
shit.
was just like doing the
Started cutting
She
herself
went hella
open.
deep in that ritual though. Like she like started like actually like scarification her whole body and shit.
Yeah,
She was,
dude, like she took a
letting
fucking
her blood
razor
drip
blade
on
like
the
a construction
Necronomicon
site.
and shit. After that, like shit started like popping off for real. Yeah, that's when he went out to go check on the alpacas. Benny did. And then it was like fucking that weird like thing.
It was like some
type
thing shit. Yeah,
like
it was
where
like
all
the
the
thing.
alpacas were like morphed together trying to like
And you could
merge
barely
into-
see like what it really was. It was just like weird camera angles that were like getting like cut together and shit.
Yeah, and then like fucking so they ran away. Mama had came outside. She was tweaking on the shits or whatever. And then fucking the kid ran up and she like hugged the kid, and as soon as she hugged the kid after like the shed was still open, they like saw the alpacas, I guess. And that's when they got struck by lightning. And then they like had like gotten like all like morphed together or whatever, and like to that like one like being and shit. They're like fucking literally like morphed together, like fucking just like the kid.
They
like
were fucked up.
the kid is like less existent than like fucking.
She's like coming out of her back. They were on the couch and they were like trying to like understand what the fuck was going on. And like the brother was sitting there, he was like looking on the couch and he was just like, I don't like, he was like obviously fucked up over it. And then they brought her upstairs to the attic.
It was like that.
It almost reminded me of the scene from Witch.
Yeah.
When they brought the son to the attic and they were all just sitting up there having a family moment.
After like bro has like fucking locked her up in the attic and shit, he like starts like having a tweaking moment.
He's like, he basically tells them like, I gotta go do some shit.
I'm gonna fucking
I gotta go do some shit real quick. And they're like, all right. So he goes out to the fucking shed and just like one by fucking one just blowing the fucking heads off this fucking thing. Like,
and that was when the first reveal of like the full alpaca.
Yeah, that shit was fucking
and it was
crazy.
like kind of like Omni type shit. Where,
and
like,
once
there was,
again,
like,
going
heads
back
out
to
coming
the
out of it.
thing, it was a straight reference to the thing, the way it looked.
Had to be, at least.
Yeah, he was losing his shit with the blood all over his face, just fucking snapping inside the garage and shit.
And then, like, skips to the next day, Ward went and, like, he was just out.
He's at the courthouse or whatever, and they're like, you know, he's calling him in, and he's like, you know, there's some judge or something snapping about the water or something, just, like, not even realizing what the fuck's really going on.
And they were just like, hey, man, come look at this. Like, hey, water guy, come over here, look at these fucking dead bodies we just found, dude. Yeah, so, like, afterwards, like, Nick pretty much, like, still, like kind of, like, harassing his daughters and shit. His daughter and, like, Benny or whatever. And then he was like, they had that whole scene where they were, like, talking about, like, he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking shoot her just like I did the alpaca. He was, like, losing his shit. Yeah. Freaking out. And, like, the daughter was, like, not okay with it. So, like, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, they were just like, oh, whatever, blah, say, blah. Like, I don't think that you should do that shit. And he was like, no, fuck that, or whatever. So, like, and then, like, a little bit transpired after them arguing. He, like, got, like, the, you know, little fucking, the light above his head. It was just like, I'm gonna feed my daughter to her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The daughter and the brother had went outside to the well because they were like, "What the fuck is going on?" Yeah, because
like Jack was like, you know, like talking about the man in the little booty man.
Yeah, they were all weirded. Yeah, like, the booty man.
They were trying to look for booty man.
They went down to go look for booty man, and he went too deep into the booty man, and booty man consumed his ass.
The
you know what I'm
booty
saying?
man swallowed the booty. You know what I'm saying?
It swallowed his ass whole.
Clapped his whole cheeks
and
up.
she fucking didn't know how to handle that. And then at that point, she was like freaking out, and the father came out and like
he was
rasped
like,
her
yeah, because he was like real irritated. Yeah, and then she was like, oh, I promise I'll do anything. And
he was like, family stick together,
she was
so
like,
you need to go in there and feed your
she was
mom.
like, I'll clean up my language. Like, that's the best thing you got. See, your dad about to throw you into some fucking room with some xenomorphic crazy ass like mom son type fucking demon thing or whatever, crazy alien jank. And the best thing you could do to convince your dad not to throw you in that bitch is be like, I'm not gonna cuss no more.
She gets shoved in there, she starts crying at the door.
Yeah, that's when
she's
you like
just
actually
freaking
like
the fuck out.
See what she looks like and shit. Cuts to fucking Ward and the sheriff coming up to the house. And that's where Nick Cage is just like acting all fucking crazy, and it's like, hey, where's your fucking family at? And he's just like, oh, what do you mean, where's my family at? Like, blah blah blah. It's like, we just came to check on you. And he's like, yeah, well, everything's fine. It's like, all right, so where's your family? Like, points over like behind like where the couch is and shit. And there's like fucking no one there. The daughter start like screaming. So the sheriff and Ward come in, and then the door is like chain locked together and shit. So like he fucking like bashes the shit open. Then when you see Teresa fucking try to like
start necromorphing and shit.
Yeah, she necromorphed out and shit. She tries to like fucking eat the daughter, and then that's when fucking you think the sheriff popped her in the shit, but it wasn't the sheriff. It was actually Nicolas Cage.
The daddy popped her in the shit.
Yeah, and then it blew like that magenta covered fucking blood.
It blew the mother's face off, but the kid was still kind of alive. The body was still alive. It was
so, like,
weird.
Fucking, then,
and
like,
the kid
Nick
was just sitting there like fucked up, and then Nick went up to it and like struggled for a little bit, and then like executed his son basically.
And then like Ward had no idea what the fuck was going on at this point. He was like, yo, listen, man, I just fuck with water, bro. I don't know none of this crazy shit. Fucking when they all run out, he like has the fucking the gun pointed at him, but it actually wasn't pointed at the daughter.
Yeah, the
it was
dad was pointing at the light.
Yeah, there was a light that came
in
front of him and shit. Yeah,
the void. He was pointing his gun at the void, and the fucking sheriff was like, "Oh shit!"
He just popped him in the back.
So she shot him,
and then that's when she was like, "Yo, fucking, I'm staying here. I'm not leaving." And then they brought up the fact that they should go check on Ezra. And then when they go to Ezra, there's like this weird old ass fucking tape player playing, talking about some, like, it's in the water. It's like it's spreading, like, but it's just like kind of rambling. But it's like, oh, it's just like explaining about the aliens or whatever. So fucking
and what was happening to the environment.
Yeah. And then like it fucking zooms in on his face.
He's like a fucking like Draugr from Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like whole shit's like blacked out or whatever, and then like the fucking
looking.
shit starts like fucking the magenta starts like peeling his entire face back.
It was like a rune. It was like a pink rune, and it started coming out of his fucking forehead.
When they left, they like ran out that bitch, and then it cut to that scene of them just walking. So it's like they had like a budget cut or some shit, and then it was like that fucking ugly ass fucking.
It was like a tree branch came up and yeeted his ass out of the fucking
but
camera.
That shit was like real like poorly done.
It was badly done.
But Whatever. Sheriff dead. He gone. You know, Booty Man got his ass. So like, you know what I'm saying, got clapped up and shit. They go back to the house. The daughter's standing outside. They have like this weird fucking like stare down type shit where she's like fucking, you know, her eyes turn like fucking a bright pink color. His fucking eyes start turning that shit, and then it goes into that
He saw the void.
Yeah,
he saw the
like
void.
watched the void and like backed the fuck out. And then like he was still tweaking. He went inside the crib and they were all sitting on the fucking couch like together. They were all alive and shit. And then like, yeah, that's where like that really crazy visual thing fucking happened and everything started pulsating like shit. Also spent like fucking so much goddamn money on that one shit because that shit was crazy. It was on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it was like a
shit.
fucking
like in Dragon Ball Super.
like
Yeah,
pink
bro.
tornado
You know what I'm
type
saying?
shit.
When fucking Goku rode on the fucking shit with the key blast, Kamehameha blew that shit. Like how crazy that animation
Yeah,
was.
it was
like
crazy.
up there with that shit. Like that shit was
Once
wild.
again, going back to the poorly edited scene, that they probably budget cut the fuck out of that tree eating the sheriff up just for that scene because
Yeah, for
like,
real.
that shit was
Because
fucked
that shit
up.
was insane. It was absolutely beautiful. And then it cut to a white screen, and then what's his name? Ward? Yeah, the water boy, Adam Sandler, was just covered in fucking like, you know what I'm saying, soot and shit. And pretty much it was like the alien presence just like completely like dispersed itself for like the whole thing or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, which is like gone. And then it just cuts to like him walking off. He's on the dam. He's talking about, oh, blah, say, blah, like, this shit, like, exists, and it's gonna exist, and it's gonna spread, and he's, like, pretty much just trying to recollect on everything, and then he just kind of steps off the dam.
Yeah.
Title
And you could tell he was traumatized. Like,
Yeah, he was
that man
definitely
probably
fucked
didn't
up.
go to college anymore. That man probably dropped out of everything he did in life. Like, he was just, like, done.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
definitely had non-flashbacks at the end.
Like, he was fucked up. Overall thoughts of the movie?
It was alright. It
I
was
think
a good movie.
7 out of 10.
I give it a lenient 7, like, you know what I'm saying, solid movie, great time, fun watch, you know what I'm saying. Well, I definitely liked all the fucking, the visuals in it.
The
were
visuals,
fucking
audio
awesome.
too. Audio
Yeah,
was
the
fucking
audio
nuts.
was fucking sick. Overall, besides the sheriff getting yoinked up, beautiful visuals. But
A
that's
lot of good
expected.
references to classic
Good
horror.
references, yeah, good idea behind it. Like I said, I feel like the dialogue, like Nicolas Cage definitely fumbled a bunch of the parts because like when he like would like hop between being super like aggressive and then kind of come down, it was just kind of goofy. You know what I'm saying? He was
And
just,
it it was almost bipolar, but not realistically bipolar. Like it was just all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he kind of just like seemed like he was really pushing himself to be like that goofy dad. You couldn't really see anything but that goofy dad impression, even when he was like, "Fuck you, blah blah blah, we're part of the family."
And he was like popping the fucking alpacas and shit.
he
You
was
still
just, like,
couldn't take him
fucking-
seriously.
He was just like, "Okay, I love you, everything's fine, baby, it's all," but fucking blah blah. It was just like kind of all over the place, and the dialogue was just like very congested. But like besides that, everything was cool.
Drink some beer with it. It's a good time. 7 out of 10. Just chill with your boys. Drink some alcohol. Do it. It's a good time.
It's Elias Freeze.
RudeBoy Todd. We here reviewing this shit.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you loved it, and make sure to like and subscribe for future content.